Hi everybody, Natasha Koch here with the Van City Home Team. So we're going to talk about building inspections. If you've ever sold a home before, you know that the building inspection is kind of like the second date from a buyer. So once the buyer's written an offer and presented it and had it accepted, usually they have certain conditions to be met on their offer. One of them is the building inspection. So we're going to talk about preparing your home for a building inspection. So those of you that have never had an inspection before, basically a building inspection is done by a qualified inspector of the buyer's choice. The buyer pays for it, and generally it takes about 2 to 4 hours for an inspector to come through your home. Really depends on the size of your home. If you have a large home, it might take longer. If it's a smaller condo, less. And basically the real estate agents usually request that you're not home during that time. Now sometimes it's difficult to not be home because, well, especially now, because a lot of us actually work from home. So if you could step away, it's really to your advantage more than anything. It's a very invasive process, and they're going to be going through your home and being critical of things that may be wrong with it. So nobody wants to sit and hear about that criticism. Furthermore, the buyer is paying for the inspection, so it does belong to the buyer. Therefore, it gives the buyer some privacy to go through the inspection with the inspector, which, by the way, usually happens at the end. So the inspector goes through for 2 to 4 hours, and then at the end, the buyer shows up and walks through with the inspector. The top 10 things that I believe are the most important when you are getting ready, because as a seller, you do want to put your best foot forward. So the very first thing is keep it in showing condition. Don't slack off. I know that when you had showings, you made sure that everything looked perfect. Nothing should change for the part of the building inspection. The house is not sold yet, and so you want to make sure it's in showing condition. So number 1, showing condition, keep it spotless. Number 2, open it up. And when I say open it up, I mean everything. If you have stuff blocking your furnace or your hot water tank, move the stuff away. If you need access to the panel, unlock it, the electrical panel, I mean. If there's a storage room outside that has a lock on it, make sure that you unlock and open that up. You want to have full access to the entire place so the inspector has no reason to put any comments that they weren't able to access it. Number 3 kind of falls in line with that. Access to no obstruction. So access to the attic space, crawl space. Believe it or not, the inspector will crawl around in the crawl space. I do not crawl around in the crawl space when I list a property, but the inspector definitely does. Number 4, check your batteries, bulbs, stupid little things that, smoke detectors, which is not stupid, but you want to make sure that they work. You don't want to give the inspector anything or that he can write down that is minuscule, that shouldn't even be mentioned. You want them to focus only on the things that are really important. And so all those little things that you have neglected doing and need doing, do them now before you even list, or definitely once you've received an offer before the inspection comes through. Number 5, now we're getting to colder weather. Who knows when you've changed your furnace filter? Some people don't even know how to change their furnace filter. They're going to look at it and see how it looks. So you really want to give the impression that you're maintaining your home really well. So change your furnace filter. It's, not very expensive to go buy a new one and pop it in. Looks brand new, fresh, clean. Number 6, leave any instructions. If you've got some kind of wonky way of turning on the lights, or, your dishwasher works a certain way, whatever, leave the instructions or a note for the inspector. Leave them out on the table. It makes his life easier. It will make your life easier. And again, you don't want to stop him from being able to check something properly. Number 7, empty your dishwasher. Nobody wants to see a bunch of dirty dishes anyway, but chances are that the inspector is going to go in. I've seen inspectors, they have kind of a system. They run all the taps, fill the tub, make sure it's not leaking, run the dishwasher, run the washer dryer, all at the same time usually. And so you don't want to have dishes in your dishwasher unless of course you want to have them cleaned for you, I guess, but it's probably not a good idea to have empty dishes have dishes in your dishwasher. Remove your pets. Number 8. I love pets, and so does the building inspector probably, but he probably doesn't want to have to worry about any escapees or locking a pet in a closet or something like that. And maybe, or he's definitely afraid of chihuahuas, who knows. So make sure you remove your pets. Number 9, ensure that your utilities are all working. Your pilot light is on your fireplace. He can't test the fireplace if the pilot's not on. If it's vacant, this usually happens where, hydro's been turned off or the water. It's really hard to do an inspection if you can't run the water and test the water pressure. And then number 10, kind of an obvious one. The last one is to make any necessary repairs, all those things that you step over, the little touch-ups, that you have been avoiding. You want to make sure that you do those in advance. No one is saying that you need to do a building inspection prior to an inspection, but if you're aware of things that need to be fixed, chances are pretty good that the inspector is going to find out as well. I just had a new one where we went and did the building inspection. It was a condo, and the inspector asked to go down to the underground parking stall and took photos if there was any oil on the ground. I thought that was the weirdest thing, so I said, well, why do you do that? He explained that it's good to take photos of an area, and if there's an oil spill, you want to make sure that the purchaser doesn't think that it was done, I guess, I don't know, by like later on than they had purchased it. Maybe they didn't notice it, the car was in there, I don't know. Anyway, I just thought that was a little bit strange, but whatever, everybody has a different system, so you're probably not going to catch every single thing that an inspector may look for, but use your common sense. Use these tips that I have them all written down. If you want a copy of the checklist, you can go around your house if you're thinking of selling. If you're watching this right now and you are interested in the checklist, you're either already on the market, yay, or you're very OCD and you want to get prepared way in advance, which is also really good to be prepared. So anyway, I hope you found these tips helpful.